Good morning, everybody. Sorry that we didn't get you a Motivational Monday yesterday, but I thought I would start today off bright and early, live from my back deck. It's absolutely gorgeous out this morning. And I wanted to talk real briefly this morning about education. I woke up early this morning and I had posted something on my personal Facebook page about what podcasts I was listening to and what everybody else was listening to. And it was awesome to see all the great things that people are enriching their minds with. And so I wanted to kind of give a shout out to some podcasts that I got some great suggestions on, but also wanted to talk to you and challenge you this morning about how much time, energy, and money are you spending on your education. I just went to an awesome conference. I'm going to just scroll down to my t-shirt. Health, Wealth, Leadership, and Legacy. It's a Ben Kinney conference. It was absolutely mind-blowing and amazing. I highly recommend you check out anything that Ben does. There's your shout out, Mr. Ben. And also, and we talked about how, so many people aren't successful in their lives and they don't get their dreams accomplished because they're so busy binge watching Netflix. And that was one of the big jokes of the conference. And I feel like if we spent that time, listening to a podcast or an audiobook or reading a book, how would our life be a little different? Or reading to our kids or putting down our cell phone. So Darren Hardy talks about how I think about 10% of your budget should be geared towards education. So what are you doing? Are you going to an awesome conference? Are you what podcasts are you listening to? What books are you reading? What enriching and educational conversations are you having with others? What classes are you attending? So a couple of things, I like to listen to, I have an Alexa and she has something called a flash briefing. And so I have different things in my flash briefing like, okay, this is a confession. I was a really nerdy kid and I liked to read the dictionary and I liked to learn really cool words. And so there is a feature on Alexa called Word of the Day, and it's usually a really obscure, strange word. And so I like that. I do a Bible verse of the day. I have something called She's Building Her Empire, which has a little tip for female entrepreneurs. I've got a devotional in there, and I love Jimmy Fallon, and so I've got his monologue from the night before. So those are sort of like even mini educational podcasts. So I highly recommend that if you have an Alexa. And then podcasts that I'm listening to right now I love Building a Story Brand with Donald Miller. It's an awesome book as well about your branding, about how you communicate. And then they also do really great interviews with authors and just business owners. And so I've really been enjoying that a lot. As well as my friend Meg. Shout out to my friend Meg. She does a podcast called Hobo for Christ, and she's living out of her car and traveling around the world speaking. She also sometimes stands on street corners and asks, says that she'll give you a hug or pray for you, which I think is great. And I've also started listening to one called, I think it's called Good News. I think it's Brandon Harvey, and his whole deal is that he wants to promote positive things in the news, that the negative things statistically stick to our brains more than the positive stuff. So he wants to, it doesn't mean that he sugarcoats stuff, and it's not like, there's nothing bad that, we're not avoiding talking about the hard things in the world, but he does make sure that he's emphasizing people that are really making sacrifices and doing things to better our world, and I think we need that too. So what are you going to do this week that put down your Netflix binge watch, or spend 10 minutes, or what are you going to listen to in the car that's different, or spend 10 minutes in the morning to read even 5 pages of a book that you're working on. But what are you doing to educate yourself better this year? And when you make your New Year's goals, do you include education in that? Ways that you're going to work smarter or be smarter or be a better parent or be a better husband or wife. So just throwing out some ideas about education this morning. Hope that it motivates you in some way, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye, everybody.